measured the windows. And I wrote it down for the second time. And maybe I'll get some motivation. I had all winter to make curtains, and I got 2 done. Those 2. And I still have
they
these.
Look lovely.
Well, they're not even up. I don't know where those curtain rods are we bought a long time ago. And so I have to make that one, that one, and that one. And then still in the bedroom, but we haven't even taken the window coverings down.
So we did get the lights done.
Well, that's all you.
Ta-da!
I hate sewing. I only like having a finished product. So that's
Doesn't that go for like most things in life?
Yeah, but like some people enjoy sewing.
Oh.
Or some people might enjoy the work it takes to put in lights, like the electrical work. I don't enjoy the process. I don't mind sewing. I hate making perfect things like measuring and folding and ironing and pinning and making it look good. I like to be like with my sewing. Just quick. But you don't do that when you're hanging curtains. You have to be good.
You do that when you're putting in lights. Hey everybody, welcome to our crazy RV. It's upgrade day. Right now we are upgrading our lights, and we've had the same lights since we bought the camper, which is quite a while ago. But problems that we have with them is A, they're not LED, and B, the fixtures and stuff keep falling apart. So right now we have these standard Jayco, whoever installed them, light fixtures. And by default they come with just regular light bulbs, like so. And I hate these light bulbs. One, they're all starting to turn black, so that means that, you know, they're starting to burn out and get dirty and everything like that. And we have switched, and some of them we have switched and started using this LED sort of upgraded light bulb, which works great. If you are searching online, I can link to this one, but if you are searching online, the one thing about these bulbs is that they're different. There's so many of them out there, and they all have very different receptors on them. So you have to make sure that you are getting the one that fits your specific brand, because I do have extra ones that I bought that don't fit our camper, but maybe we'll come across someone whose camper they'll fit and they can have them. So we're upgrading today to these bad boys. These are a complete LED enclosed fixture, and all we have to do is take the old one out and drop the new one in. I'm going to show you how quick and easy that is to do, and it's really quite simple. And I found these awesome new connectors, new to me connectors, right here. Hope they won't fall out. And I'll link those down below, and you're going to see how awesome these things are, because unlike typical ones where you put it in and you crimp it, and you put it in, you crimp it, or if you put them together and solder them, or if you twist them together and moret them, morets are no good for campers. They'll fall off, they'll float together. You can get the ones that clip together, but the issue is that this size of wire is completely different than the size of wire. I don't have an example here. The size of wire that comes, you know, off this light. So these, it doesn't work as well as you might want to expect. So the beautiful thing about these ones is that you put your wire in, it heat shrinks it all together all at once, and then it also at the same time melts some solder in between, so those two wires are hooked there. They're not going to move anywhere, they're not going to come apart when you're traveling about, and I've been really impressed so far. I've set up one right there. This whole bedroom's going to get renovated this spring, by the way. We're excited. We did the rest of the camper last year, and this year we're going to do this. But step one is upgrading these lights in this camper, so let's get to it. Hey guys, one quick note. If you are doing this, make sure to unplug the power. Turn off your main breakers. Turn off unplug your camper, completely unplug your batteries. Whatever you got to do to make sure that you're safe. You're dealing with electricity here, and even though these lights are kind of run on a DC converter, they still got some punch, so better to be safe. Turn off all your power, don't work on live power. So this is the problem with this particular light, is that this fixture just comes apart. And I've got a couple of tricks that I'm going to show you throughout this that I have learned that have made this process a whole lot easier to do. So first I'm just going to pull that off and pull out the old bulbs. The other thing I hate about these bulbs, these ones in particular, is I always feel like I'm going to break them in my hand, and then I'm going to have glass shards stuck in my hand, and that's always bothered me. I still can't do it. I have to, even incandescent bulbs, I have to use a glove. Yes, I'm scared, but I don't care. Okay, first step, we're just going to pull out the old screws. That's it. Then they just pop down. So here we go. We can actually pull this and pull that out. Now, you might be tempted, actually right here, you might be tempted to take that connection apart. I did it the first time just to check it out. The problem we have is that this wire right here is very tiny, and this one is bigger. This one's like maybe a quarter of the size of the wire that's going through here. So this connection is actually a really big connection, and the other wire doesn't really fit very nice in there. So I found it was much easier just to take this apart, use your wire strippers or pliers, and just cut that right off. So now we've got our old one off. And we're just going to take these, cut that, and strip this so that I have maybe half an, not even, I'm going to say a centimeter, but if you don't know what a centimeter is, about that long. Centimeters, 10 millimeters. Does that help? This one's a little long. I'm going to trim it. Okay, next step. So trick number one that I found is that I can't get these off. They're extremely slippery. So I found the best way to do that is my particular gloves that I use for septic actually are grippy, and they allow me to grab. So if I put this on and take that off, that allows me to pull those off quite easily. Trick number two that we're going to use is I've actually pre-cut just a wire. So you can use a clothes hanger or any piece of wire. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put it through here. And then I'm going to put this wire up here, and it's going to hold my fixture for me. So this way I'm not having to hold my fixture and this at the same time. I can work on it. I'm going to strip these just a little bit more. So now with our connector here, I'm going to take one. This doesn't have a polarity, this particular fixture. I'll link it below if you want these ones. And so it doesn't matter if I put this on first. And I'm going to put these together like this. So I've got one on one side and one on the other, just like so. So now that I've got this together, I can pull out my heat gun. I'm going to put it on 2, and I'm going to melt this. Okay, so that's one done. You can see cooled off pretty well. So what this does, it's got 3 bands, or yeah, 3 bands on it. The 2 red bands are actually, they tighten up and they clamp around the wire itself. And then the one in the middle is a band of solder. So it goes around, and not only does it tighten a little bit, but it also melts the solder that goes in between the wires and sort of ties everything together so the wires can't get out. And it's sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to rip on it because I don't want to. You can force it apart if you really try hard enough, but it's a much better and quicker connection than putting the heat gun or putting the heat tape around just a regular crimp connection. Plus you get the benefit of solder. Okay, let's do the other one, and then we'll hook it right up. Put that one in like that. You want to push it through so that the insulation is through the red band, and then the bare wires are through the solder band. Now that this is cooled off, we can put it back up. So I can take this out. Also, when you're doing your heat gun treatment, just be careful with your light. This is plastic. Take this back out. I can put my wires back up. One thing before I do that, see, that's dirty. The holes on the old fixture are different than the holes on the current one. They're the same number, there's still 8 of them. But in our case, they don't line up at all. So you have to expect that when you do put it up, you're going to be adding some holes to the ceiling. Let's get this up. I opted to push up as much as I possibly could out of here because I just wanted it out of the way. So in my case, I'm actually going to line up with that hole. That hole will be my first hole. Put those through. Line this up. This way I'll at least be using one of the holes, and I know that it'll be in the same area as well. And you want to be very gentle with that because it's so easy to strip. This is nothing, this stuff here. Perfect. Okay, we've got 6 more to do. I'll quickly throw those in place and then we'll test it out. Okay, we got our lights in place. Tip number 3 here is you want to test it out before you go past this stage because these light fixtures these are annoying covers to get back off. So I'm going to go ahead and test this. And once I'm confident that, hey, everything's working properly here, those connections actually soldered beautifully together, which they should with those wonderful connectors, then we'll be good to go. Okay, so we're all good. I got it all plugged in. 1 light, 2 lights. Hey everybody, lights are in, and it's so much brighter in here. I do have some footage from before we put it in, and I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I'll flip back and forth. You can tell me what you think. They're actually super easy. It probably took me an hour to switch out 8 lights or so. And we did have plans to have a different light here, but we kept hitting our head on it because this is the light that used to be there, right? Très beautiful. Très beau. And it's no good. Always hitting our lights, always our head, always hitting our head, always falling off. So now I just put in one of these guys and done. Be much nicer. We do have, and you have to check it out. I'll link it up above when we do add this. But this fixture is getting switched out, and so if you want to know how to switch out just a regular fixture and use it in your camper, we're going to do a video on that next. The back here, this light, that. These ones are left in. These are still the original ones. However, I put in the LED bulbs into there. So any of the small ones like that, they have the LED bulbs in them. And I do have one of those up here as well. Right here. So they just look like this. And they work pretty good. These are definitely a lot brighter though. This will be nicer. It'll be interesting to see once we actually get out. Oh, once we finish lockdown number 5 or whatever it is. But have any questions? Want to know anything? Just leave a note in the comments below. We'll be happy to help you out. And thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe. We'd love to have you here. Join our crazy community. And please hit the like button. Really helps the channel out, and we appreciate it, and we will see you next Sunday. So you can buy these in a 2-pack or a 5-pack. I've got one 5-pack here, and then I bought 2 of these 2-packs because we needed 8. Or is that a 6-pack? Maybe we got 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, here's a true story. So you can get these in a 2-pack or in a 5-pack. So I got one 5-pack and 2 2-packs, and that's going to do absolutely everything in the camper. And only difference between the two is that the 5-pack is packaged differently, whereas the 2-pack has, looks like it's packaged for resale, wholesale. Open that right up. Are these the same? I wonder if these are the same. They're slightly different. They are different fixtures. Even though they're exactly the same, well, pretty the same. Looks like I ended up with 2 different types. Kori, and then what kind is this? Either way, I'll link them below. In the main section here, I'm going to put all the same ones, this 5-pack, and then I'm going to use these guys in places where you can't really tell the two, so I don't think that's going to matter as much. The nice thing about the 5-pack, though, is that it does have a film over top of the light cover, so it actually makes getting it off really easy. Whereas with the other one, I needed the glove. So depending on what option you're looking for, if you do get the 5-pack, then getting it off is much easier.